Welcome to this edition of Man's Final Dominion News. I'm your host, AsaYHWH Ben Yisrael, the iconoclast. And in this edition of the news, we're going to be taking a look at current events taking place around the world as well as in the country, both financially and politically. We'll also be taking a look at the truth about Rosa Parks. So without further ado, let's get into the news. First up, we have my favorite president, the greatest president in the history of the nation, or at least the greatest president of my lifetime, President Donald Trump. We see here that they're impeaching Trump for the second time, a historical second time. He's not even in the White House anymore. That's akin to evicting someone who's already moved out of the house. So the Democrats are, they have their panties in a bunch. They want to make an example out of Trump. But like I said, he's the greatest president of all time. And I say that because this man has done more single-handedly to destroy this daughter of Babylon, this United States of America, than any man in history. That's a great man. So the experts are saying that Trump will be acquitted, but don't be so sure. I'm pretty sure he'll be acquitted. Presidents don't go to jail. Presidents aren't impeached to where they're convicted. They might be embarrassed or ashamed with the impeachment, but they're not, convicted. In other news concerning President Donald J. Trump, Twitter has decided that they will never allow Trump to return to their platform. I don't think that it really matters, and Twitter suffered financial loss since their decision to censor a whole group of people. Donald Trump has the media, the mainstream media. He doesn't necessarily need social networking. And in a display of his hypocrisy, Twitter was mocked for refusing Indian government's orders to suspend accounts due to free expression. So Twitter faced ridicule after it resisted demands by the Indian government to suspend accounts for spreading misinformation, claiming that it cherished free expression despite having removed multiple prominent accounts in the U.S. for spreading misinformation. So they love free expression over in India, but over here in the good old U.S. of A., daughter of Babylon, the First Amendment, freedom of speech, is trampled on by the social media giants, the technocrats. But the hypocrisy is showing and the anger is building. All you have to do is think back to January the 6th, 2021. In financial news, someone wonders, is this the biggest financial bubble ever? And Rubino answers, hell yes, it is. It is the biggest bubble ever. And with all of this helicopter money that they're printing, it's going to continue to be inflated. But as we know, all bubbles pop. And when this one pops, it will be historic. It will be something that has never occurred in the history of the world. But the average person has no knowledge of this, and they go on throughout their day with their activities, none the wiser. But they will be greatly affected when inflation sets in, when that same meal costs 2 or 3 times as much, when gas prices skyrocket, and the fat cats and the politicians who can't do a thing right, they feel that we need to have more stimulus, more printing of worthless currency, worthless paper. Almost everyone in Washington seems to agree that more money will fix the economy. Oh, yeah? Okay. Well, if that's the case, more money will fix the economy. I'm going to write down a number, and this is the amount of money that you need to send out to American families individually to right the problem. Can you see that? $2 trillion. We'll solve this. Send me $2 trillion. Send every American family $2 trillion, since more money printing will fix the economy. Go ahead and send it out. In news and politics, Mr. Joe Obama continues Trump's maximum pressure campaign on Iran. Now, if that doesn't tell you that the president is not in control, I don't know what else will. Why would he continue the maximum pressure campaign that Trump initiated and is still disastrous? Why would he continue that if he was different, if he was a different candidate? The policy remains the same. That is because the president is not in control of anything. In pandemic, scamdemic news, travelers to England can face 10 years in prison under new COVID-19 policy. You hear that? 10 years in prison over some COVID-19. Plandemic, scamdemic. In other plandemic, scandemic news, it's being reported that the coronavirus vaccination, the jab, may be the cause of rare blood disorder in at least 36 people. Now, if they're saying at least 36 people, you know it's thousands or at least hundreds, right? The vaccination killed, was it Hank Aaron? Huh? The vaccination is giving people Bell's palsy. McDonald's is paying people 4 times or 4 hours extra if they take the vaccine. A whole extra $40 to take the vaccine. Wow. Whoop-de-doo, McDonald's. In other news, Rush Limbaugh continues to fight against lung cancer as staffers pray for remission. Who are they praying to? I guarantee you it's an idol. I guarantee you that Limbaugh is eating a bunch of poison. Pork, shrimp, lobster, all the unclean things that shouldn't be put inside of the body. I guarantee you that. And some of the lies and the deception that's permeating our society, even coming from China. It says China spacecraft enters orbit around Mars. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Look at this picture. Look at this photo. This looks real to you? Who is taking the photo of the satellite? Where's that camera? What camera is taking a photo of the planet or whatever this is? Huh? Where's the third camera? You can't see that this is some type of CGI composite image or some type of thing they put together on a computer somewhere? No, China did not. No. China didn't send any spacecraft to Mars. The United States has never sent any spacecraft to Mars or any other planet or the moon or anything else like that. No one leaves the Earth to go into mythical space. Okay? Everyone stays right here. These are lies and deception, distractions, meant to keep you and your focus away from your creator. In other news, a Japanese submarine collides with bulk carrier while surfacing. So they can send spacecraft into space to Mars, how many millions of miles away, but they can't keep a submarine from colliding with a carrier while surfacing? And you believe that they really have this technology and really have this power to send things into space, huh? Can't even get good cell phone service. They must be like the best cell phone service in space. In other news, in the nuclear annihilation news, Iran has warned that they may pursue nuclear weapons. That's that Uranium 50 and 51. The Medes, the Persians, the Iranians, they're the ones that wiped the daughter of Babylon off the face of the earth. You see here, Iran's intelligence minister warned the West that his country could push for a nuclear weapon. And if he says a nuclear weapon, he's probably talking about a bunch of nuclear weapons. If crippling international sanctions on Tehran remain in place, state television reported Tuesday. So the Iranians are warning that they may push for a nuke, a bunch of nukes, a few nukes. So, as Yah said, this thing is heating up. The Iranians will get nukes. Believe that. Know that. Understand that. They will get nukes. The New York Times, Iran suggested may seek nuclear weapons in new escalation of threats. United States has nuclear weapons. Israel has nuclear weapons. A bunch of other nations have nuclear weapons, but they want to prevent the Iranians, the Persians, the Medes from getting nuclear weapons. So everyone else can have a gun except for them. Everyone else can have the really big gun or guns except for them. You were in a treaty with them, which they were abiding by, but you decided on the advice of the Edomites over in the state of Israel, calling themselves Israelis, that you should exit that treaty. Now, you don't want to rejoin the treaty until they go back to complying with the terms of the treaty when you were the one that left the treaty in the first place. Now, how fair is that? And you're saying that they have to take the first move when you were the one that made the first move to exit the treaty. You were the one that behaved treacherously. And the Iranians are telling you that, no, we'll return to the treaty once you lift the sanctions. And lifting the sanctions should be one of the easiest things to do. But you know what? You are a serpent. This whole nation, a nation of liars and thieves, can't stick to an agreement for more than 4 years. And since this month is Black History Month, the shortest month of the year, in which Black people are recognized, I just wanted to shed some light on the truth about Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks is a fake. She's a phony. Her story is a lie. It was something that was done as clickbait. Rosa Parks is not a hero. Rosa Parks is not an icon. Rosa Parks is just a light-skinned Israelite that was chosen to be the face of a movement. Now, the truth about the story is that it did really happen, but it didn't happen to Rosa Parks. It happened to a young woman by the name of Claudette Colvin, the 15-year-old who came before Rosa Parks. But what happened to her was that she was pregnant. Now, that's not a good optic. That's what they said. That's what they thought. It's not a good optic to have a 15-year-old pregnant girl refusing to give up her seat on the bus. So let's stage this. Let's restage this. And let's put a single light-skinned Israelite woman on the bus so that the media will swallow it up. And that's the truth. So stay tuned for more episodes of Man's Final Dominion News. I'm your host, AsaYHWH Ben Yisrael, the Iconoclast. If you found this video to be informative, like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, peace.